Hey friends, this is Joseph Maynor. So what I want to do in this video is I want to do the final leg of my extended spiral stage teal. And I made a playlist on coral and teal, which are two of my extended stages. And the three components of teal are divine marriage, which was my last video as an introduction to that. The marriage between the human and the divine, and finally the integral. And just like I think Spinoza is a good teacher for turquoise, and Advaita Vedanta is a good teaching for coral, not the only ones. Jung is a good teacher, not the only one, for teal, Carl Jung. So we're going to start out just getting a little bit of a background on Jung. And so I asked ChatGPT to do that for me, give me a detailed summary of Jung's psychology. So here's what ChatGPT had to say. Carl Jung's psychology, often referred to as Jungian psychology or analytical psychology, is a broad and complex field that focuses on the depth of the human psyche. At its core, Jung's work emphasizes the importance of the unconscious mind, the individuation process, and the exploration of symbols and archetypes. Here's a detailed breakdown of some of the major concepts in Jungian psychology. 1. The unconscious. Jung believed that the unconscious is a fundamental part of the psyche, and he divided it into two layers. The personal unconscious. This contains repressed memories, forgotten experiences, and material that's unique to the individual. It is similar to Freud's view of the unconscious, but Jung expanded on it. Collective unconscious. Perhaps one of Jung's most original ideas. This is the deeper shared layer of the unconscious that transcends individual experience. It houses archetypes, universal, primordial symbols and patterns of behavior found across all human cultures and throughout history. Examples include the hero, the shadow, the anima, the animus, and the wise old man. 2. Archetypes. Archetypes are inherited patterns of thought or behavior. They are part of the collective unconscious and manifest through various symbols and myths in different cultures. Some of the most prominent archetypes in Jung's theory include the persona, the mask or social face an individual presents to the world. It is a necessary part of navigating society, but it can sometimes overshadow the deeper, true self. The shadow, the unconscious part of the personality that contains repressed weaknesses, desires, and instincts. Confronting the shadow as seen as necessary for personal growth. The anima/animus. These are the unconscious feminine side of men, the anima, and the masculine side of women, the animus. Integration of these aspects leads to wholeness. The self. The central archetype representing the totality of the psyche. The self, with a capital S, is the union of the conscious and unconscious parts of the mind and represents the realization of the individual's full potential. 3. Individuation. Individuation is a central concept in Jungian psychology, referring to the lifelong process of self-realization and personal growth. It involves integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche to achieve balance and wholeness. Jung believed that achieving individuation requires recognizing and reconciling inner opposites. For example, light and dark, masculine and feminine, and eventually transcending them to become one's true authentic self. 4. Synchronicity. Jung developed the concept of synchronicity, which refers to meaningful coincidences that occur without a causal connection, but seem to be connected in a significant way. Jung saw synchronicity as a principle that could explain seemingly random events that are interconnected through meaning, often pointing to a deeper order in the universe. 5. Types of personality, the psychological types. Jung's theory of personality types focuses on the different ways people process information and interact with the world. He identified 2 primary attitudes and 4 functions. Attitudes. Extroversion, focused on the outer world of people and things. Introversion, focused on the inner world of thoughts and feelings. Functions. Thinking. Logical, rational, and analytical approach. Feeling. Valuing based on personal or collective ethics and emotions. Sensation. Focus on concrete, present reality and immediate experience. Intuition. A focus on patterns, future possibilities, and abstract thinking. Jung identified 8 possible combinations of these functions. For example, extroverted thinking, introverted feeling, etc., which form the basis of later personality theories such as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, the MBTI. 6. Dream analysis. Jung viewed dreams as a window into the unconscious mind and an important tool for self-discovery. He believed that dreams communicate unconscious material through symbols, which, when properly understood, could help an individual understand unresolved conflicts, desires, and repressed aspects of the psyche. Unlike Freud, who focused on the sexual content of dreams, Jung was more interested in their symbolic meanings and their role in personal development. 7. The role of religion and myth. Jung saw religion and mythology as significant manifestations of the unconscious. He believed that religious symbols and rituals were expressions of deep universal truths embedded in the human psyche. Jung's interest in alchemy, astrology, and Eastern philosophy also demonstrated his belief in the spiritual dimensions of the unconscious. For Jung, psychological health was deeply connected with a person's relationship to the transcendent and the symbolic world. 8. The psychological development across the lifespan. Jung had a unique perspective on human development. He suggested that the first half of life is often focused on external achievements and the creation of a social identity. In contrast, the second half of life, often referred to as the second half of life or afternoon of life, is more concerned with spiritual growth, reflection, and integration of the unconscious. Jung believed that it was in the second half of life that individuation and self-realization become particularly important. Summary: Jung's psychology is holistic and emphasizes the importance of the unconscious mind, archetypes, and the journey toward self-realization. His work encourages individuals to confront and integrate both the conscious and unconscious aspects of themselves to achieve psychological wholeness. His theories on personality types, the power of myth, and the spiritual dimension of human life have influenced not only psychology, but also art, literature, religion, and even popular culture. Okay, friends, so this is the first third of this video. I'm going to come back and we'll continue on. right, friends, welcome back. So now we're going to go over Jung's account of intuition from ChatGPT. Jung's account of intuition is an essential part of his theory of personality and one of the four primary functions of consciousness, alongside thinking, feeling, and sensation. In Jungian psychology, intuition is defined as the perceiving function that focuses on patterns, possibilities, and future potential, rather than on concrete facts or immediate sensory experience. Key aspects of Jung's understanding of intuition. 1. Intuition as a perceptive function. Jung viewed intuition as the ability to grasp abstract ideas, future possibilities, and patterns that are not immediately obvious in the present. Unlike sensation, which is concerned with what is tangible and directly observable in the here and now, intuition focuses on what could be or what lies beneath the surface of current reality. Intuition operates in a way that feels almost automatic, as if the individual is receiving insights or gut feelings that come from somewhere beyond the immediate senses or logic. 2. Intuition versus sensation. Sensation, the opposite function of intuition, is focused with the objective world and perceives the concrete details and present facts. In contrast, intuition deals with the unseen or unobservable aspects of the world, allowing individuals to make leaps in understanding or imagine future possibilities. For example, a person using sensation might notice all the physical features of a new person they meet: height, clothes, facial expressions, while someone using intuition might immediately sense a deeper underlying characteristic, such as the person's potential or long-term goals, even without detailed information. 3. Extroverted versus introverted intuition. Jung distinguished between two types of intuition, which are based on whether the individual is more extroverted or introverted. Extroverted intuition. This type of intuition focuses on external patterns and connections, seeing possibilities in the world and recognizing trends or opportunities. Extroverted intuitives are often good at spotting patterns in larger social, cultural, or global contexts. They might excel at anticipating future trends, like market shifts or technological developments. Introverted intuition. This form of intuition is more internal and subjective. Introverted intuitives tend to focus on internal images, visions, or insights that come from deep within themselves. These insights might not be immediately understandable, but they often provide profound, individualized knowledge about life or the future, sometimes appearing as a flash of insight or a knowing that doesn't require logical explanation. 4. Role of intuition in personality types. Intuition plays a crucial role in Jung's theory of psychological types. In his system, each individual has a dominant function, either thinking, feeling, sensation, or intuition, and a secondary function that provides balance. For example, an INTP, introverted, intuitive, thinking, perceiving personality, might rely on introverted intuition to process abstract concepts, while an ENFP, extroverted, intuitive, feeling, perceiving, might use extroverted intuition to explore and navigate the external world of possibilities. Intuitives tend to value innovation, creativity, and future-oriented thinking over the present moment. They may be drawn to speculative thinking, art, philosophy, or anything that allows them to engage with the unknown or the possible. 5. Intuition's connection to the unconscious. This one's important. Jung considered intuition a key gateway to the unconscious. Since intuition can operate on an unconscious level, it allows individuals to access hidden knowledge or insights without being aware of the rational processes that led to them. For instance, a sudden hunch or feeling about a situation or a person that later proves to be true can be an expression of intuition, linking to the collective unconscious or the unconscious patterns and archetypes. 6, the role of intuition in the individuation process. In Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming one's true whole self, intuition plays a crucial role by helping the individual navigate inner complexities and integrate unconscious material. Intuition provides symbolic insights that help the person understand deep hidden aspects of their psyche. For example, during the individuation process, an individual may experience intuitive revelations in dreams or in moments of deep reflection that point toward areas of personal growth or transformation. Summary of intuition in Jungian psychology. For Jung, intuition is a function of the psyche that allows individuals to perceive potential underlying patterns and the larger meaning of things, often beyond what is immediately observable. It is an essential part of the human experience, helping to guide individuals toward greater awareness of their inner worlds and the unconscious, as well as to understand future possibilities. Whether functioning in an extroverted or introverted manner, intuition provides a unique visionary perspective that helps drive creativity, exploration, and personal growth. Now notice that Jung's concept of individuation is very similar to Spinoza's concept of self-actualization. So for Spinoza, because you don't understand the whole, and you don't understand that you lack free will, there's a way to actually gain power by realizing that you don't have any power and surrendering aspects of yourself that are false and integrating aspects of yourself that are true. So in a way, you can see how Spinoza and Jung are very similar, that there's a shadow that has to be integrated that will bring you toward an individual alignment with the truth. You become more aligned with the truth. For Spinoza, it's basically rejecting, seeing through the passions and seeing through partial ideas and recognizing that that the whole is the true and you are just a finite perspective that is a finite aspect of God that is filled with confused ideas and confused emotions. And so when you can see through the confused ideas and the confused emotions of the ego, right, and integrate the shadow aspects that you don't want to think about, like the whole is really what's real, there's no free will, most of your emotions are not legitimate guidance, most of your ideas are not legitimate truths. So you're integrating your shadow for Spinoza. Jung's concept of individuation is similar to that. I think Jung actually is probably influenced by Spinoza, although Jung is different. So Jung is focused on consciousness, whereas, which is, you can see why this follows from Stage Choral with Advaita Vedanta. Spinoza is not very focused on consciousness. Spinoza is focused on the whole and the intersection between thought and extension. I mean, Spinoza does talk about consciousness, but he doesn't emphasize it, whereas you can see how Jung emphasizes consciousness. So you can see why this is such a great move after you've integrated Advaita Vedanta. So I think the first commentary that I want to give for the integral is the first thing you want to integrate is the spiral dynamics, right? Every spiral stage. For me, I have some extended spiral stages, namely coral, teal, mauve, emerald, and dusty rose. The only two that I think I want to share with you in detail are coral and teal. Because those are the ones that I've done the most work on, and I have playlists on my channel for those. So you want to integrate the spiral, even the stages that are in your shadow, right? Because you have a lot of shadow problems. Your ego is choosing to filter reality a certain way that is preventing you from integration or achieving more truth. Very similar to Spinoza. Like you have partial ideas and partial perspective, which is ego. And you're repressing certain aspects of yourself, of the self. And so this nicely follows Advaita Vedanta too, because Advaita Vedanta talks about the self with a capital S. Well, so does Jung. Jung is a great step after you've integrated Advaita Vedanta. Just like Advaita Vedanta is a great step after you've integrated Spinoza. The next thing I'm going to offer for integration is my 10 sources of truth model. So this is the human feminine, the human masculine, the human marriage, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the divine marriage, the marriage between the human and the divine, the integral, which is what this video is, the transcendent, and then the marriage between the integral and the transcendent. So the transcendent belongs to mauve, which is my spiral stage after teal. I have some videos on mauve, but mauve, the teaching for mauve is Zen. Although it's not the only teaching, it's the best teaching, for mauve, in my opinion. And then there's the marriage between the integral and the transcendent. So I deal with that in emerald, my extended spiral stage emerald. So, because the integral puts you on a treadmill. I mean, stage teal is on a treadmill. The idea is that you've got to individuate by integrating your shadow. Like, just like Spinoza thought, like you're full of confused ideas, confused feelings, misunderstanding of power. And you've got to work your way into more authenticity, see, with Jung. The next thing I want to give you for integration, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My 10 areas of life coaching model. And these are accountability, knowledge, action, spirituality, energy, happiness, creativity, health, finances, relationships. You can also think of the 7 chakras model too for integration. What's the 7 chakras model? The root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. And to have the Kundalini experience too could be very integral, like an integral type of thing, right? Because what you're doing is you're opening up all of those chakras so that energy flows through them smoothly. Very similar to like integrating your shadow, or Spinoza's kind of self-actualization concept about how paradoxically you gain power by surrendering to truth. Just like in Jung, you individuate by allowing the shadow aspects of yourself to be there without trying to repress them away. And allowing also think about conscious creation. I've made some videos on conscious creation, allowing intuition to express itself and allow that deeper unconscious to create insights that then flow out effortlessly. So you can see I've done a lot of work on teal and coral. So these extended spiral stages that I have, I'm pretty sure about. I'm pretty sure about mauve too, but I mean, I feel like I've been working on teal now for like a year. I mean, just, and, moving beyond Advaita Vedanta, moving beyond Spinoza, and trying to teach this to people too, which is kind of I have mixed reviews about. Actually made me not want to be a teacher anymore. So now I'm just a sharer. Now, remember when we were talking about Jung, he talks about when you have a duality, you want to like look at both sides of that duality and integrate the weaker side. So for example, I'm going to give you a list of 50. And these you can work on. And what you do is you wobble these dualities and you integrate shadow aspects that you've repressed to allow your being to be what it is and to accept it for what it is, instead of living with confused ideas or confused feelings. So just give me 1 second, I'll come back and I'll read that list to you. All right, friends, welcome back. So what I'm doing is I'm going back to the ChatGPT article where it said that Jung believed that achieving individuation requires recognizing and reconciling inner opposites and eventually transcending them to become one's true authentic self. I'm going to give you a list of 50 that I came up with. And here they are. Abundant and insecure. Action and no action. Addiction and rehabbed. Asshole, doormat, healthy boundaries. Attached and detached. Body, heart, and mind. Bullshit and knowledge. Change and permanence. Chaos and order. Child and adult. Composed and improvised. Creator and created. Dark and light. Divide and unite. Emotional mastery and meltdowns. Emotions and mind. Enabler and controller. Enemy and friend. Fail forward and set back. Fearful and fearless. Fighting and surrendering. Financial health and financial illness. Goal-oriented and spur of the moment. Happiness and discontented. Healing and trauma. Healthy politics and toxic politics. Human and divine. Ideal and real. Influenced and original. Integration and transcendence. Leader and team player. Lingo and truth. Looping and exploring new things. Love and hate. Magic and truth. Marriage and divorce. Mental health and mental illness. Mindfulness and lack of awareness. Nuanced and black and white. Optimistic and pessimistic. Persona and no filter. Perspective awareness and mind blindness. Physical health and physical illness. Relationship and solo flyer. Remembering and forgetting. self and no self, show me and tell me, spirituality and religion, yin and yang, spiritual enlightenment, lack of spiritual enlightenment. Okay, friends, so hopefully this was a good video. Nice introduction to the integral. And I'm glad that I finally have, I think, teal pretty shored up at this point. Thank you for watching this video. I'll talk to you soon. We'll do my video on health, personal development square one, the final video there, next. I'll talk to you in a week. Take care.